afternoon and welcome to Shawano News, your positive source in a crazy world. My name is Jaime, I am your host, and I am joined today by Bob Bloomer and the Sap Runners. We are west of Shawano on his gorgeous 80 acres in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. Today Bob's going to teach us how we go from tree to sap to make maple syrup.
Correct.
Thank you for having us,
You
Bob.
bet. Thanks for coming out.
This
Wonderful day.
Definitely a hidden haven.
That it is.
You have tapped over 1,000 trees.
Correct.
And how long have you been doing this?
Since 2008. I got back into it in 2008 only because an old timer brought me in a pint of syrup, and I fell in love with it again. And the first year we were going to tap 40 trees, and the first year we tapped 300, and it's just been a whirlwind since then.
Well, I can't wait for you to teach us the ways of the Northwoods. Let's go tap a tree.
Certainly.
Let's do this.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to take this and dump it in the bucket now?
As much as you can without spilling.
Oh my goodness, it looks really big. Let's see if my yoga helped.
There you go.
Oh, not bad. No spills.
Beautiful.
Now, exactly what is this liquid going in here right now? It looks like
That
water.
that is sap. That's 2% sap. And if you notice, because it got so cold out last night, there's actually ice in the bag. So the 2% sap will freeze, but what freezes is 100% water. Your sap has sugar in it, so that's not going to freeze. The more ice in the bag, the more concentrated the sap would be out of the tree. Most generally, this is probably a little less than 2 coming out, but now that the ice is in there, we might get to 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, whatever. You have 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup at 2%. So the less water in it, the less it takes to boil.
And maybe this is a really basic question, but what kind of tree is this?
That is a maple tree. This happens to be a hard maple.
Maple syrup, I get it.
Right.
I get it.
So this happens to be a hard maple. I probably on the 80 acres, the 1,000 we tapped.
Now we're at the back of the tractor and we're going to dump the sap into this rig.
There we go.
Here we go. Sounds fun. Let's go on the tractor.
There you go.
The next stop is the guys' hunting cabin. Again, Bob and Kay Bloomer have 80 acres here in Wisconsin, and they've made it into this really oasis for the Northwoods lover. Tell us about your little cabin.
So that started in 1996, and we call the cabin the bus stop. Reason why the bus stop is, before we had the cabin, we had an actual school bus that we used for hunting for hunting. And the last year we used it was 1995, when, believe it or not, a mouse ran behind my head on a coaxial cable. My brothers were laughing hysterically, and I said, I will never step foot in that thing again. I will wrestle a grizzly bear, but I hate mice.
So now you have the bunkhouse, and you have your brothers and your nephews and your sons and your grandsons. You can bunk out here, have some fun. It's for generations to
Correct.
come.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We have a lot of fun out here. We built it and added on a couple of different times. Now it's home sweet home with everything other than running water. So
Okay, well, let's go get our swimsuits and let's go.
There you go.
Okay, let's go. Look at this cute little log-shaped sauna. Let's go in and warm up.
There you go. There you go.
Woo!
After you.
Thank you. You really have tapped into something sweet here.
I really enjoy it. We use it quite often during the winter, and of course, you always like to have a bunch of people over, but maybe not so much in the sauna with everybody in here. So.
Right, but when you
But it's fun.
Maybe you could have a little hot drink with some maple syrup.
That we could. That we could.
Of it. Okay, well, I think I'm just going to sit here the rest of the afternoon.
There you go.
We are back in the sugar shack. Now that we've collected the sap, we're going to see the process as to how to make maple syrup. So we come here with the big bulk tanks. Bob, tell us what the first step is when we come back here.
Sure. So the very first step we're going to do is we're going to pump out the tractor put it in our bulk tanks, which you can see out the back window here. I've got a 1,000-gallon and an 800-gallon tank there. The next step is we're going to put it through the reverse osmosis. That is this machine. So what happens there is we're going to take out a fair portion of water, and we'll end up with just concentrate after that. If you follow over here, here I have the concentrate going into this tank. My water's into the bulk tanks. I use the water to rinse out the RO after I'm done after a period of time. We're going to take the sap in here. That's the concentrate, which then turns and goes into the head tank, which then goes into the evaporator. Every 4 to 6 hours I have to wash the RO, and that's what I use the water for, from extracting from the sap. So it comes out of the tree approximately 2% or so. After it goes through the RO, we can get it to 9 or 11%. Saves a lot of cooking time, saves a lot of wood.
Bob, this place is no little undertaking. Very fancy, high-tech machines. This isn't just, a bucket and some a fire. This is a science.
Correct. Yeah, that it is. Yeah.
Bob,
so,
what is this?
This is what they call is a 2x8 evaporator made by Smoky Lake Products in Hilbert, Wisconsin. The sap, what that does is coming in here, goes into the float box, has a series of flues, so goes in and out of the flues, comes around to the other side. So we're just boiling most of the water back there. Then we're going to come into the front pan, goes through more series of flues, and when the final product comes, it's in here. This is temperature regulated, so when this hits 217.9, the valve opens up, spits out our syrup in there, and then we'll take it to another process in a finishing and filtering stage.
Come and look at this. It looks really sticky, but it smells good. I always like to learn something new. I got my safety gloves on.
All right.
Now what?
So I will open the door for you.
Okay.
And now we're going to very gently put it in there.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it is extremely hot. Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead and toss her. There you are.
I did it.
All right.
So Bob, you collect as a group, and then you come here, and it's a nice time to gather with friends and family, maybe have a little supper or grab some beers. Tell us about this area. You have a lot of people that help you out.
Correct. I've got to give or take 10 to 15 to 20, sometimes 30 friends come out and help, friends and family, help collect. Then we come back and have a few cocktails and talk smart and talk about everything.
What a wonderful way to make memories and
that it is.
Be together as a community.
That it is. That it is. And this is what I refer to as the sap kitchen, or syrup kitchen rather. We're going to take our buckets from the other room, dump them into here, like so.
That looks like caramel.
That it is. Yeah, close. So now when I get the pan up to about 1 inch or 2 from the top, that's 40 gallons of syrup, okay? So we turn on our electric switch. This is a fuel oil operated, heats it up to an absolute perfect density. So once I get that process done and I make sure I'm to the temperature I want and the consistency I want, we put it through this machine, which is called a filter press. That will take out all the sugar sand and anything else that's in the bottles, so I can put it in the bottle. Then I will take and put it into this machine, which is our bottler, and make our bottles of syrup anywhere from 12 ounces to a quart. Or if you go back this way, I have 5-gallon jugs that I put it in for bottling at a later date, or 30-gallon barrels. And this is the final product.
Wow. This is the final product.
That is the final.
Sap Runners maple syrup. And how is this available? How can people get their hands on this?
So I have this at All Season Repair. I've got it at Deerco, Paint and Glass, Taddock's Grocery Store in Clintonville, Don's Quality Market in Seymour, and Lark's Country Store, the Amish Country Store.
Wow.
So.
Well, it seems like a big process, but something that you really enjoy and love. I can hear it in your voice and in your smile. I am back in the Sugar Shack for the best part. I'm going to do some taste testing with little Bo. Bo, can I taste your maple syrup? I'm gonna have a waffle and dip it right into the syrup. Let's try this. Mmm. Sap Runners maple syrup. I helped make it. I got this fruit palette, all the different kinds of syrup. And I'm with Cutie Pie Bo. Do you like it? Can you smile? Can you smile? Are you a big star? I think the Bloomers have really tapped into something special here. They have come together as a family, created something that they can enjoy for many generations to come. Thank you, Bloomers and Sap Runners. Keep living and loving in the 5 for 166.